The best of mornings to everyone present here today. Me, Dr. Meera Hetchen, Principal, Shishadripuram College, wholeheartedly welcome all of you to this wonderful program. Look deep into the nature and then you will understand everything better. Look after the land and the land will look after you. Destroy it and it will destroy you. On this note, emphasizing on the importance of environment and its preservation, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the two-day national level workshop titled Only One Earth. It's a matter of great honor today to have Dr. Shalini Rajneesh Madam as our chief guest of today's program. It's my privilege to introduce and welcome Dr. Shalini Rajneesh Madam. Dr. Shalini Rajneesh joined the Indian Administrative Service in the year 1989 as woman topper at the age of 22 years. She is a gold medalist. She is a gold medalist in BA and MA Psychology from Punjab University. After joining service, she has completed PhD in Rural Development from Mangalore University and MBA from La Trobe University, Australia. Considering her achievements and contributions to the women empowerment, public administration, and also her passion for implementing to the government schemes effectively for the welfare of women, the Karnataka State Women's University honored her with Doctorate of Literature in 2013. She has presented many papers at national and international forums, written 13 books, 8 in English and 5 in Kannada, covering the subjects like management, personality development, women empowerment, IAS coaching, smart city, creating awareness in people regarding COVID-19, creating good future for youth, etc. She regularly writes articles and gives lectures and interviews in television, radio, seminar, etc. to connect the people at large. She has worked in many capacities in Government of India, in the Ministries of Finance, Civil Aviation, Shipping, Agriculture and Road Transport. As Principal Secretary to the Government, Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms, she steered a revolutionary legislation that is Karnataka's Guarantee of Services to Citizens Act of 2011, popularly known as Sakala. Sakala project has been awarded Prime Minister's Award, Google Innovation Award, National E-Governance Award for Outstanding Performance in Citizen-Centric Service Delivery in 2013-14 and Quality Circle of India National Award 2014, Commonwealth Public Administration and Management Award of 2014. As Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, she played a proactive role in the formulating integrated state health policy and amendment to the KPME Act of 2007. In the arena of IT for health, she has implemented e-hospital, telemedicine and teleradiology to ensure efficient referral and specialist care to the underserved and hard-to-reach rural areas in the state. As Principal Secretary to the Primary and Secondary Education Department, she drafted changes in the policy to make learning more qualitative, enjoyable, interesting and rewarding. She, for the first time, got Grama Sabhas organized for mainstreaming from about 72,000 children who dropped out of the school. She has also succeeded in bringing CSR funds from 42 private companies for the development of government schools. At present, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh serves as an additional Chief Secretary of the Department of Planning and Statistics. In the Planning Department, the Sustainable Development Goals Coordination Center, in the collaboration with the UNDP, is successfully learning, Currently, the state of Karnataka ranks third in the country in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Madam, it's really a privilege that you have joined our program and you are gracing the occasion. On behalf of Seshadripuram College, Seshadripuram Educational Trust, Eco Mitra and NSS, I wholeheartedly welcome you to the program, ma'am. Thank you all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our Honorary General Secretary, Nadoja Dr. Udepi Krishna sir. I take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Nadoja Dr. Udepi Krishna. Dr. Udepi Krishna is a transformational leader with a fine blend of educationalist, technocrat and Gandhian social worker based in Bengaluru. Besides holding master's degree in engineering and law, he is a PhD in management, a prolific writer in Kannada and English. He is the Honorary General Secretary of Seshadripuram Educational Trust, which is one of the Karnataka's oldest and largest group of educational institutions. A techno-legal expert in high eminence, Dr. Krishna is credited with the international professional accolades, including prestigious fellowship of the Institution of Engineering and Technology of the UK and World Academy of Productivity Science, Canada. Top positions held by Dr. Krishna include President of Karnataka Gandhi Smaraka Nidhi, National President of Indian Institution of Production Engineers, and member of Karnataka State Disasters Management Authority in the rank of Minister of State. He has also held key positions in the national management of highly credible service organizations like Indian Red Cross Society and the Tuberculosis Association of India, which has pan-India presence. Government of Karnataka honored him with State Award for the Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, State Youth Award for the Youth and Community Services, and State Rajyotsava Award for the Social Service. He has been conferred with a prestigious Nadoja Award, which is equivalent to the honorary degree of Doctor of Literature by Kannada University, Hampi. In recognition of his dedicated services to the nation, Dr. Krishna has been conferred with President's Gold Medal, the highest national award given for exceptional Red Cross humanitarian work by the President of India. On behalf of Seshadripuram College, Eco Mitra and NSS, I wholeheartedly welcome you to the program, sir. Thank you. It's my utmost pleasure to welcome Shri Raju Chandrasekhar sir, Governing Council member, Seshadripuram Educational Trust and head with the Indian Red Cross Society. On behalf of Seshadripuram College, Eco Mitra and NSS, I wholeheartedly welcome you to the program, sir. Thank you. On behalf of Shishadripuram College, NSS and Ecomitra, we are extremely privileged and happy to have Mr. Pratap Lingaya, State NSS Officer, NSS Cell, Youth Empowerment and Sports Department, Government of Karnataka. On behalf of each and everyone here, I wholeheartedly welcome to the program Mr. Pratap Lingaya. I would like to welcome Professor Veena R, Convener of Ecomitra, and Shri Manjunath H, NSS Program Officer, Shishadripuram College, to the program. It's my privilege to welcome all NSS officers of SET institution, teaching and non-teaching staff, NSS volunteers across the colleges and SET institution, and all my dear students. I wholeheartedly welcome all of you to this wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for always being a constant support in each and every activity, and we welcome you, ma'am. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as sunlight expels the darkness, which brings positivity and happiness in our life. Now I request all the dignitaries on the dais to join their hands for lighting the lamp and watering the plant.
किं ज्योतिस्तव भानुमानहनिमे रात्रौ प्रदीपादिकं स्यादेवं रविदीपदर्शनविधौ किं ज्योतिराख्याहि मे चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकं ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। या देवी स्तूयते नित्यं विबुधैर्वेदपारगैः सा मे वसतु जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती।
Thank you all. I request our chief guest, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Youth Empowerment and Sports, Government of Karnataka, to address the inaugural session. Ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ನಾಡೋಜ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಶೇಷಾದ್ರಿಪುರಂ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ NSS ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ಅನ್ನು ತಾವು ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ನನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಬಿಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಈಕೋ ಮಿತ್ರಾಸ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಸಿ ಯು. So happy. You are the, our soldiers of the future. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ಥೀಮ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ಇದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ತ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ತ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್. ವಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ತ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ. ಆದರೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಏನು ಇವತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್. ನಾನು ಭಾಷಣ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಯು ಆಲ್ ನೋ ಇಟ್. ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ನಾನು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಹಳ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಬಹಳ ವಿನೂತನವಾದಂಥ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಐ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಗರ್ಲ್? Shalini. Oh. So I think she was here. Shalini, stand up. Come, get up. So 3 cheers for her. Such a beautiful expression that she made. So proud of you. Come, take your seat. ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಈ NSS ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದೆ. ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ, ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್? ಓನ್ಲಿ 2 ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಸೋ ವಿ ರೀಪ್. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಏನು ನೆಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದೇ ತಾನೇ ಚಿಗುರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೀಜ ನೆಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಗಿಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ನೆಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸು, ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜು. ಮತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಮಗೂ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜು, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ತಿಂತೀರಾ? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಈಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಟೇಕನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್. ಈ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ಥನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದ್ತೀರಿ. ನಾನು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಿಂದ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಈ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿ ಫಲವತ್ತತೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವ ಭೂಮಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇವತ್ತು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಕ್ಷ ಹೆಕ್ಟೇರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಒಂದು ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಕ್ಟೇರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಈಸ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಬಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಖಾಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ taking off your marks for that. 5 lakh hectares? 10 lakh hectares? No. Thankfully, we are at 4 lakh hectares. 4 lakh hectares. Just imagine what a big expanse. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಒಂದು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Only 5 to 6 districts have this major problem. ತುಮಕೂರು, ಚಿಕ್ಕಬಳ್ಳಾಪುರ, ನಾರ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳ್ಳಾರಿ, ರಾಯಚೂರು, ಈ 5-6 ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್. ವಿ ಆಲ್ ನೋ ಇದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ವಿ ಆಲ್ ನೋ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ರೆಡ್. ಈಗ ಬರ್ತಾನು ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. How evaporation takes place, then it condenses, then water comes, then you have vegetation. Ilva cycle. We are reading it from class 3rd onwards, I think. Today, We did not. Do you even remember somebody planted forests? We don't even know. In the history book or any environment book, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇಂಥವರು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. It was part of the earth, alva? The greenery, everything was part of the earth. Forests have been growing on their own. Nobody went and planted forest. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, when we say, okay, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, we go and plant and all that. But the nature's ಒಂದು ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ that it plants on its own, because the trees ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸಿಂದ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚಿಗುರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್, ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ವೇಡಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ನೋ. ನೌ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅವರ್ vegetation, bring back the fertility of the soil, so that in the coming days our future population is growing, howsoever less growth rate, but population is growing. ನಾಳೆ ಯಾರು ಹಸಿವಿಂದ ಸಾಯಬಾರ್ದಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, it is our responsibility as educated, technical, competent people, knowledgeable people. I will take 5 points and we'll close at that. Tell me 5 action points and I'll implement it for the year. Please tell me, volunteers. What do you think we should do as government and eco-mitras put together? Thought about it? Action points? Heli, in whichever language you are comfortable.
We have to plant a tree, ma'am. And we have to take a complete responsibility like our own family member.
Correct.
We have to make it grown up.
Okay, where do you stay? Where do you stay?
Ma'am, I am from Kolar.
ಕೋಲಾರ್. ಕೋಲಾರಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಅಂಗಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಆಯಿತು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಡೂ?
Ma'am, we can do a pot like, ma'am.
ಹಾಂ, ಎಸ್,
Which gives good oxygen.
ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ. ಸಿ, ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಬನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಪಾಟ್ಸ್. ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾಟ್ಸ್. Very good. What's your name?
Suraj, ma'am.
Suraj. Oh, you are a nature's urja. Thank you, Suraj. Thank you. Second point. So how do we have to ensure that we grow more and more pots, at least in urban area, in the living spaces, rural area, in the open spaces. Haudala? And for that we have to create lot of nurseries. So how we will create the nurseries? Think about it. Yeah.
My point is that we have to maintain environmental hygiene. In urban areas, if we don't have space also, we can go for terrace gardening.
Hygiene, you said, very important. Hygiene means the opposite is pollution has to be controlled. Halva. So what is causing pollution? Garbage, waste, factories, and pollution, vehicles. How do you come to school, college? What if you come by bike? Bicycle or e-bike? What if you come by bicycle? Yes, you can start early. You're healthy also. Your stamina will improve, right? You don't have to spend time in the gym. Too far. All right. So, what is it that you can do? See, you can't leave the bus because you're staying too far. So, what is it that you can do to reduce pollution? Others will tell later. First, you tell me, what can you do to reduce pollution?
Most of the students come by their own vehicle. So I suggest them to come by bus so that many of them who uses public
Pollinator.
transportations,
Yes.
so it will be easy. And if they use their own vehicle, if everyone starts using their own vehicle to come college, so it increases.
No, that's okay. We'll leave it. Leave others. You tell me. What can you do? You're already coming to bus. To that extent, you are reducing the carbon credits of your individual vehicle. Excellent. But what more can you do to reduce pollution? Anybody else? What can you do? What's your name? Yamin. Thank you. Thank you, Yamin. Anybody else can answer? What can we do to reduce pollution? One, I gave you the answer that to the extent possible, nave cycle mulka badana. Wherever I can cycle, why not? Okay. ವಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಟು ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್? ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್,
ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮರ ಕಡಿತಾರೋ, ಉಳಿರೋ ಮರ ಕಡಿತಾರೋ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಸಿ ನೆಡಬೇಕು.
ಅದರಿಂದ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ?
ಅದು ಬೆಳೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ತಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನ ನೆಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಾಳಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಮರದಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ?
1000.
No, my dear. Get your statistics right. ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ 7 ಮರ ಬೇಕು ಗಾಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ. My one oxygen cylinder requires 7 trees to give me the oxygen. So 1:7 ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಉಸಿರಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಗುಡ್.
ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಎಲ್ಲ
ಖಂಡಿತ ಖಂಡಿತ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಬರೀ ನಿಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರೇನು? Dhanush. So you have hit the arrow. Yes, three cheers for our Dhanush. Now you will tell me, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಬರುವ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿವೈಡರ್ಸ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಯು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿ that will be your action point, that next few days ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಮುಗಿಯೋ ಮುಂಚೆ you will plant in those dividers on your way, and you will also water them so that they don't die.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಣ್ಣದಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಅದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೋಡ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಹಾಕೋ ಥರ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಇದನ್ನು ಸಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಪಾಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಏನ್ ನೀರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪುಟ್ 1 plastic bottle or a clay pot with a small hole, ತುಂತು ನೀರಾವರಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಡ್ರಿಪ್ ಇರಿಗೇಷನ್. You can just leave it 1 bottle a day. If you just leave it 1 grey water, you leave it in that plant, slowly drop by drop it will survive. Will you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
7 plants at least on your way.
Yes, ma'am.
Will everybody do that? Yes, ma'am. If you have problem, tell me. I will talk to the traffic police or BBMP. Okay, thank you, Dhanush. Now 2 more people. What more action points?
So one of the biggest reasons for
1 minute. After her. Yes. See, more girls are offering.
so one very big method is to clear the waste. We have a lot of waste on our earth, and I've seen these companies who make chairs out of plastic. A lot of things out of waste, in a different kind of waste with different things. So we have to promote these kind of companies and introduce more companies like this so that there's waste.
How do you promote more such companies?
By buying those products.
Or yourself becoming that entrepreneur. Okay, so what's your name? Rakshita. Okay, let's clap for Rakshita first. Very nice, Rakshita. No, stand up. Action point is not over. You've heard of Nivedita Trashcon. She's a startup celebrity. What she did, she created a machine, I think it cost about 10 lakhs or something, in which all the trash, because everybody's mixing trash, isn't it? So she puts it, then separates it through that machine, and then the dry, that is then consolidated, crushed and consolidated. Idella items are made and then sold. She's become today, one bestsellers kind of thing. Now, in our own way, what are you doing? Which subject you have?
I'm doing
Law. You can now argue with others, but what will you do yourself? What will you do yourself to recycle the waste? So basically what you are trying to say is that one, we should try to reduce our waste. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವು ರೀಸೈಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೌಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಸೈಕಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಡೂ? So nice. To BBMP ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಸಿರು ದಳ ಇದೆ. I would request all the please connect yourself with ಹಸಿರು ದಳ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ನೀವು ಡ್ರೈ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಿರೋ, ಅವರು ಹಸಿರು ದಳನವರು ಈ ಥರ ಡ್ರೈ ವೇಸ್ಟನ್ನು ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ದ ರ್ಯಾಗ್ ಪಿಕರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಿಟಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ ರ್ಯಾಗ್ ಪಿಕರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಥರ ಅವರು ರೀಸೈಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ they are working across the state actually, but more in BBMP. Please connect to ಹಸಿರುದಳ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾಸು ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೈ vision will be that at least some of you should become social entrepreneurs recycling the waste. How many will become? Thank you, Rakshita. Last person, let me hear her. 1 second, I'll hear her.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್,
Yes.
ನಾವು ಲೈಕ್ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಬೈಕ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಲೂಲು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yes.
ಸೊ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ 7 rupees ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಬಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಸೇಮೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Yes.
ಸೊ ನಾವು ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ತುಂಬ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Absolutely. What's your name?
ಸುಷ್ಮಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Sushma, excellent. Do you have a Yuludu ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಕಂಠೀರ್ವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ?
ಬಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಲೂಲು ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯು ಟು ಯುಲು ಪೀಪಲ್. ಅವರು ವಿದಿನ್ ದ ಸಿಟಿ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರು ರೀಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಕಂಠೀರ್ವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರು ತಂದು ಯುಲು ಬೈಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆಲ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಈಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ದ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಂಠೀರ್ವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಬೈ ಯುಲು, you go back by Yulu. No vehicle should enter my stadium so that my stadium is green and clean. Adake, since you are a big institution, if you request them, they will create one center here. So illinda also check ನಿಮ್ಮ networks, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, they can give you the connects. So what our friend Rakshita, no? She said, or somebody else also said, that we should use these e-bikes or non-polluting or maybe public buses. So at least let us start with all our eco-mitras. We will facilitate Yulu centers for you. You please pick up the bike. Yulu allinda idu bandu illi bitbidodu ashte. If your expenditure works out fine, then please do that. This will be then only ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಾನೇ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Fantastic. I think I am today more enlightened than before I came here. Thank you very much. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್, ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಒನ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ, it will have a multiplier effect, right? Like Prakriti. Okay, thank you very much. Wish you all the best, and I'd like to document each one of you doing great things for the earth. Remember, we have only one earth and we cannot make mistakes. Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. Now I request our guests to hand over the prizes to the winners of poster competition. I would like to call upon Shiv Shankar P and Sanjay P from BBA A section for second prize. Next, I would like to call upon Shalini VA from 2nd BCom F section, Lakshmi KP, 3rd BCA, and Akshata H from 3rd BCA for first prize. Okay, thank you all, and congratulations to the winner. Now I request Nadoja Dr. Udupi Krishna Sir, Honorary General Secretary, Sheshandrapuram Educational Trust, to lead us with the environmental pledge and followed by presidential remarks.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ಪ್ಲೆಡ್ಜ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಲಗೈನ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮೀ. ಐ ಪ್ಲೆಡ್ಜ್ my allegiance to the planet Earth and the flora and fauna and the human life it supports. I pledge to protect and save the earth by adopting an environmentally friendly lifestyle. I pledge to strive for a safer planet with clean air, water and soil, with justice, rights and peace for all. I acknowledge that we are holding the earth in trust for the future generations to come, and pledge to strive to make the planet Earth a better place. I believe that the earth also has the rights like the human beings, and pledge to strive to uphold the rights of earth. Thank you. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಜು ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಚ್ ಎನ್ ಮೀರಾ ಅವರೇ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ವೀಣಾ ಅವರೇ, ದಕ್ಷಿತಾ ಅವರೇ, ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ರವರೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರೇ, ನಾನು ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಶೇಷಾದ್ರಿಪುರಂ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಅದರ NSS ಘಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ಇಕೋ ಮಿತ್ರ ಈ ಘಟಕಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ 2 ದಿನದ ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಮಟ್ಟದ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಅರ್ತ್, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಭೂಮಿ ಅನ್ನುವ ವಿಚಾರ ಕುರಿತು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ, ಅದು ವಿಶ್ವ ಪರಿಸರ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ವಿಶ್ವ ಪರಿಸರ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಆದ್ದು. ಇವತ್ತು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೇ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, we are observing this World Environment Day today. ಭಾಳ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ, ನಾನು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ಕೊರೋನಾದಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬತ್ತೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿವೆ. ಭಾಳ ಗರಿಗೆದರದಂತೆ ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಭಾಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅವರು ನೀವು ಬರೆದಂಥ ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದರು. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಅವರು ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಈಗ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಹಾರ್ದಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಲೋಟ ಮುಚ್ಚಳ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಬಾಟ್ಲ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಬಾಟ್ಲ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಹೂ ಕುಂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಬೊಕೆಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೆಲೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೂ ಕುಂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಮನೇಲೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ನೆಡಬಹುದು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಫೈಲು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಯೂಸಬಲ್ ಫೈಲ್ಸು, ಪೇಪರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಮೇಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಫೈಲ್ಸು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಇದನ್ನೇ, ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಬಿ ದ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಯು ವಿಶ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದರೂ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ನಪೋಲಿಯನ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವೆನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಎ ನೇಷನ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಥಿಂಕರ್ಸ್. ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮಂಗಸ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಬಗೆಹರಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಟು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕಸ ಜನ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಕಸ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುವಾಗಲೇ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ 2 ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಸೈಡ್. ಡ್ರೈ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಡ್ರೈಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವೆಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ವೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಹಾಕುವಾಗಲೇ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೈಕಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಯೋಡಿಗ್ರೇಡಬಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್. ಇದು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಶಿ ಹಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಯು ದಿ ರೈಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೀನೋಟ್. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್, ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಡೂ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ವಿದಿನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸರ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಕಡೆಯದಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂದೇಶ, ನಾವು ಸರಳ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ವಿಕ್ಟಿಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರಿಸಮ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೇಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಟಮ್ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಆಗಲೇ ತಲೆನೋವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋನು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಲು ಯಾವುದೋ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಳೆ ಮಾಡಲಾದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಆದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ಯಾಡ್ಜೆಟ್ಸ್, ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಬೇಕು ಬೇಡ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಈ ಬಾಕುತನ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಿನಿಮಲ್ ಫ್ರೂಗಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ನಾವು ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಒಂದು ಗುಡಿಸಲಿನಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದರು ಆಶ್ರಮ, ಸಾಬರ್ಮತಿ ಆಶ್ರಮ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವ್ರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಮೇಜಿನ ಮೇಲೆ, ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೀತಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರು ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ಲು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನಾನ ತೊಬ್ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ರಬ್ಬರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್, ತುಂಡ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್. ಅದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹಿಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗದೇ ಇರೋಷ್ಟು ಅದು ಸೌರ್ಗೂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಬರದೇ ಹೋದರೆ ನೋಡಿ, 100 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಟ್ ಈ ರೋಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಹಿಂದ್ ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. 1909 ಹಿ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಜಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಸ್. ಈ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಈ ದಾಹ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಸ್, ಇದರ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಮನುಕುಲಕ್ಕಿದು ಮಾರಕ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಅವತ್ತೇ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೌ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟು ನೇಚರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಬದುಕು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪರಿಸರದ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬದುಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಸನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿಶ್ವದ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದಂತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆ ವಿನಾಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾರತೀಯ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯೇ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಾಶ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಮರಗಿಡಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂಥವ್ರು, ಮರಗಿಡಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ನಮ್ಮದು, ನಾಗರಿಕತೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಮರಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರದ್ದು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ಯೋಚನೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಡೀ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಒಂದು 6 ಇಂಚ್ ಆಳ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇರುವಂಥ ಈ ಅರ್ತ್ ಪ್ಯಾಚಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ 12 ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಝೋನ್ಸ್. ನೋ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದಲೇ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಊಟಕ್ಕೇನೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಫುಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಪರಿಸರವನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮರಿಬಾರ್ದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಟು ಪಾಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ಬೆಟರ್ ಅರ್ತ್, ಎ ಬೆಟರ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಅಸ್. ಅದು ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಇದನ್ನು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲೈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಎನಫ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಎನಫ್, ನೌ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಡಿಸ್ಪೈಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಯುಸಿ ಸ್ಕೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್, ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವಿತ್ ಅಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಂಗ್ರ್ಯಾಚುಲೇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಲಿಂಗಯ್ಯ. See, he is a national awardee, Indira Gandhi National Awardee in NSS, and not only that, he was a student of our college, he was a faculty here, now he has been a state NSS officer, and you just know, if you are dedicated, you are committed, you can reach great heights in life. And to that, Pratap Lingaya is a good example, and I only call upon you to be more involved in volunteerism. ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಸಾರ್ಥಕತೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಣುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಲಿಂದಲೇ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಬದುಕು ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಕೋ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ, ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೂ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿತಾದರೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನಾದರೂ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ. ಪಾಪ ಎಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಸೋ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೈಡ್ ಯು ಆಲ್. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಣಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Sir, being a strong pillar of our institution and supporting in each and every activity, so this was possible from you, sir. So, dhanyavadagalu, sir. Now I call upon Professor Veena R, convener Ecomitra, to propose vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all of you. Now we have come to the end of formal inaugural program of two-day national level workshop organized on the occasion of World Environment Day, Only One Earth. It is my profound duty to thank all those who have helped us in organizing this event. We, on behalf of Sheshadripuram Educational Trust, Sheshadripuram College, thank our Chief Guest, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Youth Empowerment and Sports, Government of Karnataka, for being with us as an eminent inaugural Chief Guest and having shared her rich expertise in the domain of ecological conservation and social responsibility. Thank you, Madam. I would like to thank our management for supporting us in all our endeavors. I would take this opportunity to thank Nadoja Dr. Udupi Krishna, Honorary General Secretary, Sheshadripuram Educational Trust, for presiding over this inaugural session. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Raju Chandrasekhar, sir, for being with us today. Thank you, sir. We thank Shri Pratap Lingaya, State NSS Officer, Government of Karnataka, for all support extended towards this meaningful event. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Meera Hachan, Principal Sheshadripuram College, for our guidance and encouragement towards this event. Thank you, Madam. I would like to thank State NSS Unit, Department of Youth Empowerment and Sports, Government of Karnataka and UNDP, Bengaluru City University, SDGCC, for having associated with this environmental and social event on this occasion of World Environment Day. Thank you, all associating partners. I would like to thank eminent resource person, Dr. Shidappa Setti, sir, Senior Fellow, Convener, Center of Environment and Development in A3, Bengaluru, Mr. Chris Paul, Vice Chairman of the India-Africa Trade Council, Shri D.R. Kumar Swami, Retired Chief Environmental Officer, Director, Prakriti Institute of Environmental Studies, Bengaluru, for graciously accepting our invitation to being with us and rendering their expertise during this two-day national level workshop. Thank you. I also extend my thanks to GKVK Campus Fraternity for all the support extended to this event. I thank print and broadcast partners being with us today. I congratulate and thank all our students for their beautiful posters prepared as a part of poster presentation event with meaningful input. I would like to thank heads of various department, office head, all teaching and non-teaching fraternity for their timely assistance extended towards this event. I thank Shri Manjunath, Program Officers, students from NSS Unit Sheshadripuram College for their tireless unconditional support organizing this event. I thank security people, electrician for their assistance. Thank you one and all. Have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am. So we are end of the program. Before winding up, I would request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे बोलो भारत माता की
Jai. Thank you all for gracing today's program.
Thank you, madam.
would like to eat jellyfish. They travel 10,000 miles every year. Can you imagine? That's fascinating. And also, not only the leatherback sea turtle and also the dragonfly, they also travel from some from North America to America, Canada. They also travel quite a lot. And also, of course, you know, the recent issues like coronavirus. It started from China, but everybody had it, right? That's also so that it's well village. In that sense, everybody had to protect the earth. Otherwise, if there's something going wrong in India, there's a problem in Indonesia, right? Also, around 15-20 had a forest fire that had environmental issues. In that sense, Amazon forest, the forest degradation also impact the biodiversity and the trees and the deforestation is one. For example, in India, there are 8-kilometer railway along back. You can imagine the quality of the wood being used. And also, this is, I was reading a book there. He has indicated 50 years old tree, the worth of 15,70,000 rupees. That is the rate he quoted in his book. Actually, this was 10 years back. In fact, this could be around 30 lakhs now. Madam Shalini Madam was also talking about how much we struggled when we had a coronavirus for the oxygen, right? So in that sense, you know, each and every trees contribute a lot. This was a photo I have taken when I was in Nagaland. People are cutting the trees and then exporting out. And this is the zoom cultivation being done in northern India. So, and also this practice was there in South India as well. So the people were cutting the trees and the burning and then cultivating, and they to another place, and also they contribute to the forest degradation to some extent. And you all know that the pollution, what is the kind of damage it's causing, the pollution, and also the number of vehicles we have and everything, you know that. The environment pollution is contributing to 5,27,000 of people are getting killed in India every year, right? This 1.27 crores, you can imagine the amount of the oxygen that we required and the kind of pollution we are contributing, and we are doing it to the nature, and everything is unimaginable. And this is also the photo I have taken in Bellary when I was in the mining areas. And this mining is happening in the middle of the forest. We drove 30-kilometer distance to see this patch of the mining areas. It's a bauxite mining. We are not using it. The bauxite ore is going to Japan. And each and every kilo is going to the Japan. And we are extracting this mining in bauxite in the middle of the tiger reserve. So 30 kilometers for this spot you have to drive 30 kilometers inside the forest. And it causes a lot of water erosion, soil erosion, pollution and everything. There's a lake close to that is full of mining bores and everything. So the water is getting polluted quite a lot. And this is the photo I had taken when I was in Sikkim. And one of my friends is doing a research here on global climate change and related issues. And the environment is getting warmer, right? And also the water sources are drying up in Ladakh and all. I was in Ladakh also a couple of months back. I was teaching a course in Ladakh. There, the people were like, the water scarcity was there, and also the snowfall and everything is also declining because of the global warming. And also the extreme events, because of the global warming and the climate change, you have an extreme event where you have a lot of drought in some place, and some place too much rainfall. And there is no uniformity in all those things. So that's also one of the reasons that the climate change is affecting the contributing to all these things. And also the tsunami is also one of the experiences we had several years back due to the climate change, right? And also water service. This photo I have taken at Chirapunji. You know, Chirapunji, what is this famous for? Yeah, yes, rainfall. This I was able to capture only that much rainfall, you know, waterfalls in my camera. But it was amazing place. If you get a chance to go to this Chirapunji, please do so. And also the water is, you know, very, very important. Even the important than food, right? According to, I mean, you can survive without food a couple of days, and you can't survive without water, right? The water is going to be very, very important for all of us. Not only for all of us, for entire organisms, and flora and fauna also live in the water. And you know, sea also has millions of organisms. So it's all the water. And also the worldwide, the waterborne diseases cause more death than AIDS and other tuberculosis and other diseases. So in that sense, you can imagine, if you don't maintain the quality of the water, the health of the ecosystem, like a lake and the pond and the river and all those things, the human beings will get vanished quite soon. And also the sea, you know, you can imagine the flora and the fauna that we have in the sea is also tremendous. You know, it's so wonderful organisms you will see in the estuary now, so where sea water and sweet water. Here, as I said, hotspots. What are the biodiversity hotspots in India? Anybody? India, Eastern Himalayas and the Western Ghats. Both are biodiversity hotspots actually. So, knowing a lot about the Western Ghats is from up to the Kanyakumari. There is also a small gap called Palghat Gap near Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Except that there's a very beautiful stretch actually. So the length is around 1,600 meters that year. The average width is 100 kilometers. The highest peak is almost 2,700 meters from. And there's a number of the rainfall. There's a protected areas, 58 protected areas we have, and 14 national parks we have, and 44 wildlife sanctuaries we have in Western Ghats actually. That's one of the World Biodiversity Hotspot. And the Western Ghats, this is the overall picture of the Western Ghats, the mammal species and the population, the species richness, and the plant species richness, reptile species and richness, amphibians 230, and molluscans 340, and the birds 250. What we have in the bracket, can you guess? Anybody? Sorry, percentage. Extent and percentage, and then any other answers? Yes, sorry?
What is the land present?
What is the land present? Okay, thank you. Any other answer?
Right now, maybe this particular percentage are alive.
Okay. Any other answer? Madam? Survival. Those are like, you know, how many people know the endemism? Anybody? Endemism means, you know, the particular species, the flowering plants, maybe mollusks, maybe mammals, whatever it is, found only in that particular region, nowhere on this earth. Okay, the endemic concept. So native to that particular species. Say for example, birds, 5-10 species we have in Western Ghats. Out of that, 4% means those 4% are endemic to this place. The Western Ghats, like that. And mollusks, say for example, the amphibians, the frog species, we have 230 species. Out of that, 90% of them are endemic. 90% are endemic to Western Ghats. You don't find anywhere on this earth. If you lose them, you will not be able to bring back. Even tigers, for example, if you don't have population, you can go to Bangkok, Thailand and can get some. In Indonesia, you can go and get some. But you can't do that in case of reptile. 240, 80 species we have. And also the reptile also, there's 65%. And the amphibians, 90%. They go, if they are gone, gone. You can't get them back. That's it. That's the end of the story. And also the climate change will have a lot of implication on frog and butterfly biodiversity. The butterfly and frogs are very sensitive to climate. If that something goes wrong in the climate, they will get affected first. There are some sensitive plants, so they also behave like that. So in that sense, maintaining this ecosystem and the temperature is going to be very, very crucial, important for all these wonderful and unique, fascinating animals. Okay? And also the biodiversity hotspot, Western Ghats, we have a lion-tailed macaque. Can we? Yeah. How many people knew about this? Lion-tailed macaque? Anybody? Where do you see the yeah. So usually you see them in evergreen forest. Actually. You generally find them in evergreen forest. The lion-tailed macaque in Western Ghats we have. In Calacotta and Mundanturai tigers we have. So that's it. And also the frog diversity. One of my colleagues, Dr. Arvind Madhyastha, is working on the frog diversity. So I have taken these slides from him, thanks to him. So look at that, such a beautiful and wonderful frog diversity we have. Okay. The screen is not great, otherwise you could have seen them nicely. This is the diversity of snails. When you're walking, you see the snails, right? Beautiful snails. We don't care them. So they are, you have to observe them carefully, and they are fascinating. The way in which they move, the way they cell and everything are fascinating. Those cells are so wonderful, right? And these are like unique organisms. Some of the animals I would like to mention. But some of them are very endangered. Endangered means, yeah, right? So some of them, we have to protect. This is turtle in a sound. Now, Samanyaги, we always speak, when we speak about turtle, we say that they're very thick and you can put a car on this. This particular, the Cambodia, I was in Cambodia 3-4 years back, before pandemic. It's very soft. That's, and also this howl is found in Peru. So they are very, very tiny, extremely beautiful howl. So they're all getting extinct. They're getting endangered, and important to. And also some of the organisms, water lily, getting so beautiful, huge. The water. Also, this is the Quailancanth. This is the fish, the living fossil, been there from 4 billion years old. They are, right? They live, 2,500 feet deep in the sea. So all these are all unbelievable, fascinating organisms. Important for all of us to protect them, all those things. And also some of us like about engineering, medical and all those things. So see what a beautiful environment we have. You can do a lot of wonderful research on each and every animal. Fascinating, actually. This is when I was in Nagaland, where there's a scientist coming from Bangalore to Nagaland. They were very excited. They hunted the birds and they were trying to cook for us. So look at what a bird diversity that we have, each and every. You have to observe them when you get time, Saturday, Sunday, go to the and try to observe these birds. really wonderful. And my wife and myself were walking, there was a bird nest, okay. And then we were crossing immediately. What bird did was try to close those with the leaf, with leaf immediately. It is like fascinating the way in which they feed them. Also, you might be knowing hornbill. About hornbill and the story. Anybody? In Western Ghats, right? Hornbills. Before laying the egg, the female bird stays in the burrow of the tree. And she'll be featherless, she'll become featherless, she'll lay egg and then incubate the eggs. And she won't come out until the egg hatch and the fly. Suppose one stays in the egg. The male bird will go and collect the and he will feed wife and children every day from morning to evening. If something happens to the male bird, the babies and the female bird, they'll all die in the nest. That is the relationship they have. You read about that. Fascinating. Lifelong partners. That's the relationship they'll have. Very bad. And so many people ask me that, did you eat this one? I told them I can't. So this is how world and how modernized we are, right? And this has to be stopped. Conservationists, few people later that protect tribal people. So they need some. I will talk about that. Don't encourage. So we can't do that. About endangered species, fascinating animals, and wonderful world. And at the same time, the forest has in India, people still live in the forest. 60 million tribal in the forest. I've been working with them to develop and increase their livelihood and life for them. I've been working with them for the past 27, 30 years. And then the development, environmental, at the same time, the developmental issues are also, if you don't give them a better life, they might end up using. In that sense, it's important to focus on developmental, time conserve the biodiversity. That's what I've been trying to do. Say increasing the developmental issues, under that livelihood improve, health improvement, democratic governance, all the important things we need to focus on tribal people, 60 million people. Environment related issues, biodiversity, conservation, use, sustainable can be possible, sustainable without depleting the, and it has to be our generation, next generation, and all generation, and that's the way you use it. The forest, the fruits are available for the biodiversity. Fruits are available for the other animals to eat. Fruits are available for the regeneration of the forest in order to sustain the population of that particular species. That's what we should be thinking, right? So that's the thing. And also the rights to people. There are some, the government has been thinking a lot about converting the forest into protected areas and national parks and wildlife sanctuaries and tiger reserves. If they convert from reserve forest to national park, the people cannot live in the forest and they have to be relocated. In the tiger reserve, it has to be relocated. So in that sense, it's important to, and it, we are like, work with the people to, and involve them in conservation of the forest. That's what I believe. That's what our team believes. Okay, that's possible. Instead of moving from man to one place to another place, saying, asking to go out. So, you can't, you need people to conserve the forest as well. So that is the philosophy we have. People in the Soliga tribal community, they didn't have rights on the, we worked with them to get their rights and allow them to use their forest resources under the Wildlife Forest Right Act. And also one more thing I was doing is that the forest conservation model. Say for example, people are going and harvesting gooseberry, honey from the, instead of selling, just add value to it. Stop. And instead of selling honey for 2 it, bottle it, label it and sell the money. So they harvest less and earn more. Biodiversity will enhance, they earn more money. Using in this forest landscape. It's a Hadavi with the Soliga community in BRLs. We have an outlet, and this, her name is Madama. She was very shy. I encouraged her to become a president of the processing unit. She is the president now. And she is taking care. And she is feeling very happy about it now. Right? The Shalini made a, right? A story about invasive, adding value to the forest resources and sustainable use of forest and enhancing the livelihood of the people. Another problem in the biodiversity that in the forest landscape that we have is invasive species. Can anybody know species? Kade barutte cardinally, invasive species. Sorry, I stopped talking in Kannada, so you cannot understand Kannada. So that's one of the reasons. So, we have, for example, we have estimated total number of plant, insect and pathogen, invasive species. We have 111 species. Okay. We have 85 invasive species. Like a easy example, invasive species. Example for invasive species. Tumba best Parthenium. Okay, now. Parthenium. A lot of people know. So I don't need to talk about it. Invasive species under Lantana anta idu saha South America and the global village and said global village. So it's also traveled from South America. I was in Brazil 6-7 years back actually. Okay, Bonito Nanta, beautiful place. Bonito means beautiful Nanta. So I was there in that place. So fascinating. This thing, Amazon for that. So this species traveled from there to India. He went and bought that as an ornamental planted. And it has become invasive species. Now, species are sometimes, forest looks very green, deadly green. But if you allow other species to grow, native species to grow. 1,000 species, biodiversity hotspot. This Lantana make it Now they've made it around 4,000, 3,000 species. Native species. That is the way it's behaving. Nodi, idilli we have done in Lantana camera 20 years back we found 4% in BRT tigers. Bilirakan betta kayati noda. So alli 540 square kilometer of the forest. 20 years back it was 4% and 10 years back it has become 34% and now it is 47%. Almost 50% of the forest is full of Lantana now. You can imagine. ಗದ್ದೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಕಳೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ BBMP-ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್. ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡು ದ ಸೇಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಯರ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಸಾನ ರಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಗಾದಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೇಳಿದಿರ ಗಾದಿ? ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ MMLs ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮಲೆಮಹದೇಶ್ವರ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ? ವಾ ಸೂಪರ್. ವೀರಪ್ಪನ್ ಇದ್ದ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ so we have a tribal people called Soligas. We work with them and we have artisans producing furnitures out of Lantana and they are earning their livelihood. Okay, next slide. These are life-size elephants made out of Lantana. Lantana now weeding the ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು life-size elephants. Can you imagine each one? Can you guess how much it would cost? It's getting sold in UK, England. Each elephant costs 10 lakhs. You can buy a Honda car, right? Next slide, please. These are the furniture they are making out of Lantana. If somebody want to go to MMLs as an exposure visit, please organize. You can visit our field station, okay? And there the people are making this furniture. Yeah. So these are some of the furnitures. Next slide, please. And these are some of the furnitures. Table, topi, all these things. Pencil also made out of Lantana. Right. Next slide, please. And this is elephant displayed in UK, Charles Prince Garden. Okay. And we have exported around 150 elephants. And they're creating conservation awareness. There's an elephant family in UK and also there is an NGO called Shola Trust in Tamil Nadu. All three of us are working together to do this. Next slide. So from past 15 years we've been working and people have earned around 1.5 crores income from this particular species. Isn't it fascinating? Alva? General ಜೀವನನೂ ಆಯಿತು ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಡಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು. People are earning their livelihood at the same time. We are solving environment related issues for some extent. I won't say completely, for some extent. Next slide. But ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ this is not enough actually. There are a lot of Lantana available in the forest. Furniture ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ they are use certain quality and quantity of branch. We want to make use of everything. Adamant paper ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ try ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. Like cement crates we are making, poly board we are making, like particle board we are making. So everything we are trying. Long way to go. So this is the first one is using forest sustainably, and the second one is related to the invasive species. ಕಳೆ ಗಿಡದಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಾಪಾಡೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹಾಟ್ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಈ ಮೂರನೇದು ಅಗ್ರೋ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಲಿನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು, ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ನ ಸಹ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ನೀರು ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ very important. So we are working on that, at least in the areas The agriculture is soil. A lot of pollinators. Pollinators ಪರಾಗಸ್ಪರ್ಶ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ನೋಡೋಣ ಒಂದೆರಡು. Can you tell us name of the 2-3 pollinators? Honeybees, excellent. Birds, butterflies, ants. Even the dung beetle. In Malaysia, there is the Rafflesia, the largest flower in the world, Rafflesia. So, all are important, the pollinators. Now, when you start, people are starting insecticide and pesticide inorganic too much, will get killed. Now, pollination dung beetles and also the bees and all. So it's so important. That's why we have to work with the farmers in order to control that. And maybe do organic farming so that we should all consume organic food so that pay more to the farmers and contribute to the biodiversity. So those things are doing. The bats and pollinators are very, very important. The seed diversity. Ella monoculture. California, ella very maize builder. 500 acres, 1000 acres is full of maize. Flight over, you can make out all the agriculture is flat, a single crop. If something happened to that crop, gone. The farmer will die, suicide. So, ivaga biodiversity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ತರ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ biodiversity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸೀಡ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ನೋಡಿ BRS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ 152 ವೆರೈಟೀಸ್ ಬೆಳೀತಾರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾಳುಗಳು, ಜೋಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ when you are growing instead of one crop, when you have 5 crops, something goes wrong to one crop, you will have the other crops with you. ಆತರ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟಾಪ್ ರೂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಡೀಪ್ ರೂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. They water each other, they share sunlight each other, they share water each other, soil each other, nutrients each other. ಆ ಥರ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೆಳೀತಾರೆ. ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸತ್ರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಾದ್ರೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಥರ. ಸೊ ದ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್, ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ದೇಶ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ also a couple of examples, and for the restoration work, the planting work need to be done very carefully. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡ like that. This is a Hungarian ಮಾತಾಯಿ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಮೊದಲು? Raise your hand. Oh, there's a person there. Nice. This Hungarian Mata, I met her in Kenya around 12 years back when I visited. Okay. She actually environmental and the political activist. In 1917, founded the Green Kenya, okay, Africa. Restored a lot of trees, and there's a book available about her also. You can read. She got the Right Livelihood Award, first African woman to receive the World Peace Prize, Nobel Prize. I was very far 15 years back in Kenya when I visited. I spoke to her, and unfortunately, ಅದೇ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ each and everybody can try and do wonders. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಲಂಚ ತಗೋತೀಯ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ನೀನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಾ, ಒಬ್ಬ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. Let's start from us. Okay. So this lady has contributed a lot to entire Africa. Amazing. Next. And this might be known Sundarlal Bahuguna. So this is me next to him. Okay. Yeah. So the Apiko movement ಅಂತಂದ. How many people would know? So wow. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿರ್ಸಿ ಕಡೆನೂ ಒಬ್ರು ಅಪಿಕೋ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So they're like, you know, the basic tree and the people are coming. That's a wonderful movement, right? He visited our office long back. And you all know, right, about this wonderful lady, right? Yeah. How many people know? Don't know. Don't know. And thank you. I want to talk to her. Next. Idu nodkondo, we also did some restoration work. I did some restoration work in Bandipur with a local NGO called Jangalscapes anta. Basically, what we did was we had like outside Bandipur, there's a place called Lokere. We wanted to make it much more green. And the saplings in that particular degraded place. Actually went and spoke to villages. So now what we do is, you know, generally you go and plant whatever you are. So you need to go and talk to people. What kind of forest they had? What kind of tree species they were growing? You should ask them what kind of trees they would like to plant, why they would like to make the program inclusive. ನಾನು ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಯಾವ ತರ ಗಿಡ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆ ಗಿಡ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್. It's like that, okay? Kind of, you know, protected this forest with a community participation. Next slide. Nodi, it's all voluntary. Under restoration 5 or 9 now protect ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. 180,000 seedlings, 48 native species. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯೋ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನೇ ನೆಡಿಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಇನ್ವೆಸಿವ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡೋದಲ್ಲ. That's not good. Even in Bangalore during the rainy season, during the storms, the tree somebody, because most of the trees are from South America. They are not native trees, native plants. It's important for us to plant native species that can grow in that particular region. Okay, that is the way we should think. 180,000 seedlings of 48 species are selected by local people, villages. And also you have to know when to plant. You know, ಬೇಸಿಗೆನಲ್ಲಿ plant ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಾ. So what farmers do, when they do sowing, they select a certain period, right? And then during some particular rainfall, that is the way in which we have to do a planting as well. And after 10 years, it was degraded and it looks more green now. This is what participation. Forest was protected by local people from the forest fire, from the weeds, and protected all the seedlings. And I always feel happy about it. 90,000 in Bandipur. And in BRS we have planted around 50,000 seedlings. In that sense, it was very. And also, like, you know, I don't want you people to plant, ficus tree, ficus religiosa, ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಮರ ನೆಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಥರನೇ ನೆಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿರೋ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So I like lemon tree, lemon plant. Let me plant that. That's it. Okay. My mother likes, perfumes. So let her plant that. Organic bakal avige. Must. My wife like, a neem tree or puja madbeku avige. So let her plant that, right? So it's like that. Whatever plant you like, you just plant it. And some of the plants are, can attract butterflies. We have a scientist in A3, and she's a butterfly scientist. She will tell you, if you want to attract butterflies to your terrace, you should speak to her. I have a list actually, I can share that with Veena madam, she can give it to you. So you can plant those plants. They are not very big. They can attract butterflies to your garden, right? So that's the beauty of it. And to plant whatever you would like to plant. In one village only, so we have planted around, including Bandipur, including BRS, we encourage people to plant around 1,50,000 seedlings. Out of that, there's only one village. I went and spoke to them. And they said, no sir, you are giving all these species, 6-7 species we have selected based on their people perception, and they would like to, whatever they would like to plant. And one of the villages, they said, no sir, we don't want all 6 species. If you are giving, give us a coconut seedling. We would like to plant coconut seedling, not any other trees, they said. But also, of course, they didn't have so much space to plant big trees. So we gave coconut seedlings per household, only one, because we had only that much money. So after 12 years back, I went to that village. The trees were grown so nicely and they gave me tender coconut. Okay, just couple of months back, it was so nice, it was so wonderful. Next slide please. The honeybees. And why I am using this slide is that in Bangalore, you can plant the plants which you like to plant, your terrace, wherever the space is available. And there are a lot of shade trees. You can grow them inside your house, next to your table, reading table. On your reading table also, some cactus, small plants, xerophytes, they can grow on your table. So diverse, you can try. At the same time, the honeybees are migratory bees. They travel up to 100 kilometers. They are fascinating, right? They can, I think we should give all this Nobel Prize to the honeybees. Okay, so they pollinate entire forest. The forest looks so beautiful and wonderful, Western Ghats, because of the contribution by honeybees. And after that, after 2-3 months staying, they'll all migrate to agriculture land. They increase the yield and the productivity of farms. Okay, annadathana bedastave yavadu honeybees. At the same time, the erevudu are the honeybees. So, and also they start coming to cities, Bangalore. And a lot of people, they're scared of honeybees. They spray insecticide and pesticide and kill all of them. Each bee colony will have 60,000 bees. They'll all have only one queen, like your principal man. Okay, so these bees, the queen get killed means all 50,000 bees will die. They'll all killed. They will not survive. Okay, that is the leadership quality they have. Okay. So in that sense, please, when you find honeybees in your building, your apartment, please don't kill them. Okay. There somebody is coming and then trying to spray insecticides, pesticides. Please no to that. And there are some people, they will move from one place to another place. Please encourage them to do so. Okay. They will charge you little more than when they spray insecticide, they will take you 500 rupees. But if you ask them to move from your building to some other place, they will charge you 1,500, something like that. Please pay more and make bees safe. Okay. Next slide, please. See, the pollinators, this is my research actually. The pollinator population is declining. Honeybees ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾಡು ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈತರಿಗೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. So that's one of the reasons we need to protect the honeybees. Next slide. Being a city, what can I contribute out? So all you people can, you can save 20% of energy every time if you make an effort, little bit effort. That's it. So many times you forget to switch off the light and fan and the AC, right? Please make sure, give attention to it. Not to save your dad's money. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಲ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ಒಂದು ಗೀಸರು ನಿಂದ 6 ಮನೆಗೆ ಬೆಳಕು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕಡೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ that's important. Keep an eye on air condition, go for solar water heater, harvest rain water, waste recycling. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. I don't need to tell you all, so you know each and everything. You all can give talk on this on stage, but we have to give attention to it. We don't give it. So please make sure you give attention to all these things, important to all these things. And cloth bag. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್. ಮಟನ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಸಾರಿ ನಾನ್ ವೆಜ್ ತಿಂದಿದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮಟನ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು ಮಟನ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಸರ್ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮಟನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. Like that. Next slide, please. So terrace garden ಬಗ್ಗೆ people spoke about a lot. Terrace garden is becoming popular now. Vishwanath ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಂದೇಶ್ ಕಡೂರ್ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ. He also does the terrace gardening and all those things. That's very important, fascinating. And ಮನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಂಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬೇಸಿಗೆನಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೀಟೇ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. So ಹಂಗಾಗಿ give importance to that as well. Kitchen ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಇದು ಲೇಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 3-4 scientists working on lake restoration, conservation of lakes in Bangalore city. So you all know that there used to be 600 lakes. The number has gone down. The water percolation in there are a lot of millions of bore wells. They are all drying. Okay, we need to restore these lakes and conserve water, and then only we can survive in Bangalore. You have 1.2 crores people in Bangalore, and you know how much how much water we require, right? ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಋಷಭಾವತಿ ರಿವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತೊಳಿತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು ಯಾವ ತರ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್, ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. So they definitely deserve better life, right? ನೀವು ಗೋಬಿ ಮಂಚೂರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದದು baby corn. The baby corn is coming from this Rishabhavati water. You know that? ನೀವು ಮೈಸೂರು ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ವೃಷಭಾವತಿ ನೀರು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಬೇಬಿ ಕಾರ್ನ್ ಮಂಚೂರಿಯನ್, ಬೇಬಿ ಕಾರ್ನ್ ಬೆಳೀತಾರ, ಅದೇ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನೀವೇನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅದೇ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಯು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಯಂಗರ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್, ಯಂಗ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್. This is my building, that one in Bangalore. This is made out of completely mud. Okay, I have not even used a single drop of paint to this house. 12 ಲಾರಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈ ಫ್ಲೋರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಒನ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನೀರು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ that's the house I have. And this is the bamboo. I grow bamboo. We make curry out of that. Sanpige, kittile, and I had a lot of bird nest. This is the sunbird. I have taken the photo. This is my house in Bangalore. Everything is possible. You have to make an effort. That's it. So, ಕರ್ಬೇವು ಸೊಪ್ಪು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗುಲಾಬಿ ಹೂವು ಬೆಳಿತೀವಿ. I'll give to that same gulabi hua to my wife once in a while. For my daughter. Okay. Samkhya hua. Okay. Next slide, please. Inna bore agutte anta helide. Martidini. Thank you all for listening to me. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed. No. Thank you. So, any questions? Please let me know. I don't know how much time we have. It's already 1:15. There might be one more speaker waiting. I don't know.
Any questions?
Please let me know.
Any questions? Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and patience. And I hope students have enjoyed your session. They got enlightened. When they start planting the trees in their houses, I mean, small plants at least in their houses, for their daily needs. And we wish that you come more often to our college and enlighten students.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's my pleasure. All the best, students. Good luck.
Okay, we are end of session 1. There is a short coffee break. I request everyone to be back in next 5 minutes because we are going to start session 2 in very short. Thank you.
In hotel management and international marketing management from Germany and its experiences in Germany, South Africa and India provide strategic and operational guidance to start growing companies and social enterprises in the hospitality, retail, service and agro-commodities and meat production sector. Right from being owner-manager for 3 hotels and catering operation in South Africa, being country health, food retail and Panorama in South Africa, setting up global commodities marketing private limited as a multi-country, multi-commodities trading company and CEO of Avirotil Foods Private Limited, South Asia. This is an recognized as innovative concepts, visionary approach, marketing and networking skills in Africa and Asia. This is also a multi-cultural filter, effective in revitalizing internal building relationships and
etc. Christmas management and functional expertise includes strategic planning, top-bottom line profitability, business setup, ties up, retail management, channel management, business negotiations, profit center operations, revenue expansion, category management, etc. He's a key on rugby and again football. Christmas organized football training camps in Germany for India and Sri Lanka under 14 footballers. A talented chef, this is another changing since 2008. Christmas in India has Aruna and ingredient travels abroad to maintain sanity and friendship. We welcome you so I request you to take over the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was a very large introduction. And I cannot see anybody else but myself here on the screen. So thank you for asking me to be part of this particular section. Oh, thank you. Why did you ladies hide yourself?
Students.
Really?
Yes,
This is wonderful. Thank you. So, from I can tell you, I've been to the biggest university in the world, and that's the University of Life. And when we talk about only one Earth, with the slogan of living sustainably in harmony with nature, excuse me, I can always think of what happens at my front door. So the environment happens every day. We are the environment. We create it, we destroy it. And all and everyone has big plans. We even have an organization called the UNEP to make sure that we have an environmental program. So where does the environmental program actually start? Well, it starts with us. And really it is a job for all of us, not for some of us. So if nobody is looking at me, then I put my camera off too. So when this event of Environmental Day was started in 1974, I think it was also in Sweden, where it is also launched now. You all had great ideas, and great ideas are such that when I say that it is a job for all of us, not for some of us, it is not only today, because today is just the Awareness Day, but it happens every day. And it happens, and then I said with us, and I just look at the front door and see how we treat the environment. Never mind the big picture. How we treat the environment on a day-to-day basis. Bangalore was called the Garden City at one point, I think. So, do we think Bangalore still is the Garden City? I have my doubts. If we don't do what is necessary in a small place, I make it simple. If I want the country clean, I have to make sure that the provinces are clean, I have to make sure the cities are clean, I have to make sure that the suburb is clean, and I have to make sure that it is clean in front of my house, isn't it? So when you have a big problem, you have to cut it into small problems, and they then become manageable. And also it's important that we understand that we actually have a problem. I can tell you, I have seen what deforestation means, particularly in African countries like the DRC, or Gabon, or Ghana. I've seen it my own eyes in Indonesia. It's not a pretty picture, I can tell you that. I've also seen what the environment does. I've been to Japan a few times, and Hiroshima, of course. And when we then do what is necessary to fix up a situation like what happened in the Second World War, it really is quite something. It is all possible. I had an experience, I can tell you, I was growing up after the Second World War, of course, and the industry in Germany was not all the cleanest, and our rivers were not the cleanest. However, after all the work done over years, the main river, the River Rhine, is totally cleaned up with fresh, the fish being reintroduced in such a way that one can swim in it. But it is also something that needs to be done on a continued basis, not only today. It has to be done tomorrow and the next day and forever. I know that the River Ganga has had cleaning up operations done. That's a very good friend of mine actually did it. But it's a prospect of really being not a successful one. My question to all of the people part here, besides myself, I think there are 5, is the challenge is how to get the message across to everybody. And everybody, that means the people in the street, the people in power, at schools, wherever it is. Because it is not good enough that the teachers teach and the children get taught and then come home and the parents don't follow what has been said, because it is really very counterproductive. So it has to continue. Whatever we have needs to be preserved for the future. And it's really not that we as this generation and the older generation have messed it up. To some degree, yes, of course we have. But we also have fixed up certain things. And when Friday for Future is around, it gives us older people always a bit of a wake-up call, does it not? So I think one should have workshops how to spread the word that everybody is part of this big environment all around us. So it is nice to plant trees. But then you also have to make sure that this is controlled and what happens after and how the trees have grown and have they actually lived and survived. I just put something across which you can work out yourself. We have 1.2 to 1.3 billion people in India. And let's take an average that every person eats 500 grams of rice a day. Multiply that by half the population, call it 500, 600 million. Can you imagine how much water we need to grow the rice? Where does the water come from? What do we do? Are we helpless? I don't think so. Because there is an African saying, if you believe you cannot make a difference individually, the African says, if you don't think you can make a difference, try to be in a room with a mosquito. And that little insect that will keep you awake all night. 2011, I think in New Delhi, we had the launch of the Environmental Day. And if we would go back and see what happened, what we promised then, and now, 11 years later, I don't think they have been very good at it. I also believe it's our right, in fact, to be critical, not to criticize, but to be critical, and in order to challenge and see that things get better. It is also part of when you're critical to see that other people's point of view matter the same as yours. It is not one dominating the other. It is all something we need to do together. People have spoken about temperature rising and beyond what is acceptable. Now, I wish the temperature would rise if people who are responsible who make the temperature in the universe rise. Also, it raises my temperature when somebody like Elon Musk says, I wish I could take everybody to Mars. Or something like that he said. Is it because we have messed up this Earth that he wants to take everybody to Mars so we can mess it up there? Therein does not lie the answer. The answer lies in that we all need to be part of it. We need to make sure that what we do individually does make a difference. And if I just think of simply the separation of our garbage, if that would take place, it would be an enormous help to our environment. I'll give you an example. My country of birth is Germany. You have to separate everything. There are 5 containers in the complex, and these 5 containers are for glass, green glass, cans, plastic, and food waste. And you have to pay for that, for the removal of it. And if you get caught by putting something in the wrong container, you get fined. And then neighbors watch you. I beg your pardon? Somebody said something?
No, sir. Sorry for inconvenience. You can continue.
Oh, it's all right. I'm used to it from my wife.
Okay.
So that's okay. So the thing is that we are not all born with discipline. So discipline has to be enforced. It has to be enforced in a manner that when we transgress, that we receive a wake-up by being punished either by a fine or having to clean up our streets or whatever it is. But it has to be enforced. It must be a want to help the environment. It is not for our children to do it. It is not for us to do it. It is for all of us to do it. And it's particularly the parents who have to follow the example. The teachers at schools preach and teach. Then the children come home, and then the mother does the dinner, and father puts his cigarette packet into the food waste and so on. That's not helpful. We have forests, and forests, the slogan goes, nature at your service. Without trees, we have no lungs, basically. And I live in a place which is near Manhattan, on the ring road, and overnight, literally of course, overnight the trees were being removed. For what? It is for the metro. Now that's a good thing. But when you cut trees down, for every tree cut down, I should think there should be a number we replant. and the replanting would mean trees which are indigenous to the location, not foreign species. And so on and so on and so on. So, my dear friends, it is almost an hour delayed. I have another appointment. I hope it was helpful what I brought across. Many things, of course, you know, but sometimes it helps to hear them. So thank you very much for the opportunity. If you have any questions to me or someone else, I think we can ask those questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very useful. As you said, the teachers need to teach the students. We need to wake up regarding to save our environment. It might be in any way, sir. So it's not an individual also. If individual takes part, it goes on with the teamwork as well. Very well presented, sir. Thank you so much, Chris, sir. So if audience have any questions, I'll get back to you, sir. Just a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Any questions, audience? No?
Sir, we have only one question here. Chris, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. We have around 200 students who were listening to you. So, any advice to them, sir? To the youngsters?
To the youngsters? Well, yes. The message to the youngsters is you have to continue what the elders have done, and you also have to make sure that you get support at home. As I said before, the teachers are teaching you to do the right things. And it is like when you learn to drive in the right manner, and then your father or mother does not follow the rules, it doesn't have to be taught the right way, because it gets diminished at home. So by passing it on at home, you would help everybody. And it's only really one earth we're going to live on.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your words. And it's been a pleasure to have with us, sir, after your busy schedule as well. Thank you so much from college, management, principal, staff as well, sir. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been great. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye, Ms. Gita. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Bye. Thank you.
So now we are breaking for lunch. So all of you can have lunch in the third floor, near lift, that side you have to go. Near room number 308. So it is only for half an hour. Break is only for half an hour. After that we have only one session. That is not offline, that is not online, that is offline session.